to Lahaina about 2 years ago, and I essentially came here for the kids, working in the schools, in the special education department, and I was placed in Lahaina at a elementary school on Front Street called King Kamehameha III, and it has been so special working there, getting to know the kids and the community. I'm going into my second year on island, and things have definitely changed.
Did you live in the burn zone?
Yes, I moved on island without a car, and because my home was super close, walking distance to the school and pretty much everything else, the grocery store, the gym, church. So I was very fortunate with that, with my location, but it was in the burn zone, yeah, very close.
Could you walk us through your experience the day of the fire?
That day, I was not working at the school. I actually had a shift at the gym, and the power lines were down, so there was no cell service, and I had no way to know whether I needed to come in that day. Obviously, I kind of had like a read on the atmosphere outside, and I was like, whoa, like something is happening. The wind is crazy, but nonetheless, I couldn't get a hold of anyone, and I didn't have a car, so I had nothing else that I could do but walk to work and find out for myself if we were open. And yeah, so I trudged through like the high winds, and I got to see like all the trees and power lines and just like debris flying everywhere. 20 minutes to the gym just to see the note that the power was out and we would reopen once it was back on. So I was like, yep, no shift today, and I walked 20 minutes back. By the time I got back home, I was definitely like super brown from all the dirt and
Oh yeah, all the dust flying.
yeah. At that point, it was still pretty early on in the day, and I had no idea like what was coming later.
What's your evacuation story?
My evacuation story, honestly, I am very lucky that I have neighbors that know my situation. They knew I worked at the school. They saw me walking to and from home every day, so they were aware I didn't have a car. And anywho, they came knocking on my door just to like check on me, and then I went outside to evaluate the situation, and at that point, like, there was just a big cloud of smoke in the distance, and so we were still very hopeful that things were gonna get taken care of and not make it as far as our neighborhood. And in the circumstance of evacuating, I did ask if I could evacuate with one of my neighbors, and of course they were like, heck yeah. So yeah. I just went back inside, and I was just like doing some busy work, and I just kept looking out the window like, it's getting closer, literally like it's the end of the world out there. So then fast forward, it was getting like late, and it was about 7 p.m. and my neighbor came back and knocked on my door and was like, you need to pack a bag, like we're evacuating really soon. But my neighbors were very stubborn, and they were saying that they did not want to leave our neighborhood until officials came and told us we needed to leave. So we didn't actually leave neighborhood until 7:30.
Where are you staying now?
Now I am posted up at the Royal Lahaina in Ka'anapali through Red Cross.
Your other job at the elementary school, what's the latest on that?
Yeah, so school was not in session that day. It actually was supposed to be starting the next day. I mean, thank God, actually, right?
Yeah.
We're very fortunate that we didn't have to evacuate the kids. I think that would have been even crazier.
All the comments are asking, where are the kids? Do you have any insight to that with you being a teacher? And can you clarify what you do exactly?
Yeah, of course. So essentially my position at the school is I am an RBT, and that stands for Registered Behavioral Technician or Therapist. In other words, like a behavioral therapist. I work directly with kids on the spectrum, And so I am in the classrooms, I am working with the students, and pretty much all grade levels as well. My insight is that we have started back school on the west side again, which is really exciting, but in the midst of that, we have lost a lot of staff and students.
What do you mean by lost? Can you clarify?
Others have either re-enrolled at other schools across the island, and staff have also either switched schools or even moved.
Before the fire, how many kids were in your class?
I'm not sure, just because the school didn't start yet. As of right now, our class estimate is supposed to be at 22, and we have about 14 showing up right now.
Where are the kids going to school now that the school has burned?
We have relocated onto the other elementary school in town's campus. Fortunately, that is still standing, and it was not affected by the fire.
You guys just had your first day of school when?
This past Wednesday on the 18th.
And how was that atmosphere then?
Honestly, amazing. Just kind of how I expected it to be. Everyone's super excited and happy to be back together and seeing familiar faces again. But it's also strange. Like, we are still navigating a lot of uncertainty of what's to come for Chem Third especially.
Do you know of how many lives were lost? Specifically kids?
Kids, it's truly only been confirmed of 2 losses.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Yeah, actually, I had been ruminating with a thought since the fire, and it's kind of crazy that, you know, I didn't have a car, and so I walked everywhere in Lahaina every day, and I never left, pretty much ever. So I was talking a lot about wanting to get out of Lahaina and just see more of Maui, which is not a bad thing, right? But now more than anything, I wish I could just revisit Lahaina. So it's just weird how my mindset before the fire was get out of Lahaina, and now it's just like I want more of Lahaina.
Thank you, Tristin, for doing this interview. To everybody who's watching, please donate directly to Tristin's Cash App and Venmo. Help support her along the way. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.